All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the Cleveland Browns had a chance today to dance with the prom queen, and basically they could not get it done. The Browns were taken behind the woodshed today by the Pittsburgh Steelers as they lost 38-7. And it is quite evident that both the Steelers and Ravens are still light years ahead of the Browns in the AFC North. You look at it this season, Cleveland is 4-2, but their two losses have come to the Ravens and Steelers. And in those contests, you're talking about now the Browns have lost by a combined 76-13, while in each of those contests, quarterback Baker Mayfield has thrown for less than 200 yards. Now, you look at today's game in a bubble, and Mayfield's interception in the first quarter set the tone. Midway through the first quarter, Mayfield was picked off by Steelers safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, who ran it back for a touchdown to give Pittsburgh the 10-0 advantage. And from that point, it was downhill. You can't have a situation in a big game like this where wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. only has 2 catches. Things like this are what separate the good teams from the greats. And I say that because the Browns do have something to hang their hats on this year for the simple fact that they're in the playoff mix, and barring some unforeseen circumstances, they're going to be in the playoffs this year. They have what it takes to be a postseason team, but making the playoffs and getting there and doing something when you get there are two different things. And for the Browns to make the playoffs and also make some noise in the postseason in January, these are the teams you got to beat. You got to beat the Pittsburghs of the world. You got to beat the Baltimores of the world, the Kansas Cities of the world. These are the teams that you have to beat if you're going to go out there and make a statement. The Browns have shown that they can beat the also-rans. And that's nobody. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't apologize for winning in the National Football League. But you got to go out there and win these games. And on top of that, if the Browns are going to take the next step in the AFC North, this is the hump they got to get over. You got to find a way to hang with both Baltimore and Pittsburgh in this division. The Steelers and Ravens, respectively, do not respect the Browns. Yeah, the Browns have the talent, but it's the mentality. And Cleveland has to go out there with, you know what, we hate to lose more than we enjoy winning mentality. And the Browns got to come out there with some nastiness, and they've got to dictate the pace as opposed to getting bullied by the bullies in this division in both the Browns and the Steelers. That has to change going forward if the Browns are going to be an impactful team come January. Now, you look at the coming game for the Browns, they have the Cincinnati Bengals, a winnable game. After that, they host the Las Vegas Raiders. That's another opportunity for the Browns to make a statement. Why? Because you look at it right now, and Cleveland, they're 2 games back in the loss column to Pittsburgh. They're one game back theoretically to Baltimore. But when you peel back the surface, due to the fact that the Browns right now lose tiebreakers to both of those teams, you could say, hey, they're 3 games back to the Steelers in the loss column, and they're 2 games back to the Ravens. So with that said, right now the Browns have to be realistic. They're probably not going to win the AFC North, so they have to focus on trying to get a wild card. And you're looking at it, who you're going to compete with for those wild cards. And luckily, this season there is an additional wild card to work with in the AFC. So you're looking at it, whoever doesn't win this division between the Browns and Steelers, you got to compete with them. And obviously, those teams hold the tiebreakers. You look at the Las Vegas Raiders. Big opportunity, like I said, in 2 weeks for the Browns to go out there and make a statement. Indianapolis is also going to be in that mix, and luckily for Cleveland, they have a victory over Indy. So this is what they got to work with. They still got games coming down the pike with the likes of the Tennessee Titans. Of course, the rematches with both the Ravens and Steelers. But for their sake, they got a chance to load up with wins against the NFC East. They still play the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington, as well as they beat Washington already, but they still have the New York Giants, and they also take on the New York Jets. So it's an opportunity for the Browns to fatten up in the win column. I think they will. I know that Baker Mayfield left out of today's game with the rib injury, and I think he's going to be back and he's going to be healthy. And I think this Browns offense is going to want to get it going because they're going to get back to their bread and butter, which is running the football. But when it comes to the big teams, a la the Ravens, a la the Steelers, you got to go out there and set that tone with the physicality with your offensive line. Could not get it done today if you're the Browns. And that, like I said before, that is something that will have to change going forward if this team is going to make an impact. Good start so far this season for Kevin Stefanski, the new Browns head coach. For the most part, everybody is bought into what he is selling. And this is going to be telling right now. How do the Browns bounce back from this? And how do they find a way to make that impact against the top teams in the NFL? We'll have to wait and see if these young Browns are going to be up for that challenge. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. If you have not already, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button to this channel. And at the same token, I want to take this time out to thank all of the fine folks out there who have liked and subscribed to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.